Assalamualaikum. In biology, we have started with chapter number 9, that is morphology of flowering plants. The students, before this we have started with roots. We have completed with the roots, but the root part is also reduced for this academic year. Okay? So, the part which is present for your exam this year, that I'll start. Okay? So, that part is de-inflorescence. De-inflorescence. Now, what is inflorescence? Inflorescence is a specialized axis. Inflorescence is a specialized axis or branch over which flowers are produced. Inflorescence is a specialized axis or branch over which flowers are produced, or we can say born in a definite manner. Right, we can see here a specialized axis. This is an axis. You can say, call it as axis. A specialized axis, or we can say the branch on which flowers are produced. You can see flowers are produced here, or they are born in definite manner. You can see that manner is definite manner they are produced. That is known as inflorescence. Means one axis and on which the flowers are arranged, then that is known as inflorescence. You have seen rose. Rose is grown on a single axis. So we cannot call it as inflorescence because single flower is produced. But in inflorescence, a bunch of flowers, many flowers are produced at a particular time. Okay? In inflorescence, many flowers, you can see bunch of flowers are produced at the same time. So we call it as an inflorescence. Now types of inflorescence. Now what is the benefit of this type of inflorescence, as many flowers are produced at a single flower? Here the number of flowers can be pollinated in a single visit, as the insect comes there in the plant. So on a single visit, when the insect comes on the flower, many flowers can be pollinated at a same time. And if we see bunch of flower, then this you can see the flowers look very attractive. This attract the insect for pollination. As many flowers are present on the same axis, this attracts the insect for pollination. Okay. Now types of inflorescence. Inflorescence are of two types. One is racemose inflorescence and the other one is cymose inflorescence. Now you can see I have made explain this in the form of distinguish between racemose and cymose inflorescence. So first I will explain you about racemose inflorescence, then cymose, and later on we will see the differentiation between them. Okay. So first is racemose inflorescence. See, if we see a racemose, this is flower is of racemose inflorescence. Example here is Caesalpinia. Caesalpinia is the name of flower where you will find racemose inflorescence. Okay. Now how here you can, what is present here? See, this is an axis of a flower. That is known as, we call it as peduncle. We require for inflorescence two parts. One is peduncle and the other one is flower. So the axis we call it as peduncle and here are the flowers. Now you can see in racemose inflorescence, the growth of peduncle is infinite or we can say unlimited. Growth of peduncle is infinite or unlimited. Why the growth of peduncle is infinite or unlimited? Because you can see the mature flowers are present at the bottom and you can see newly flowered, new buds are arranged. So here always the mature flower will be down and it will be followed by flower bud. So the growth of the peduncle is always unlimited because we will find every time a bud, the new flower is added, a bud is added. Then you can see apical growth here as there is no terminal flower. No flower is present. The mature flower is not present at the terminal part. So this apical bud is always free for the continuous growth. You will find continuous growth of the apical bud is present. Hence the peduncle is also indefinite or unlimited. Then flowers are born in acropetal succession. Acropetal succession means older flowers are present at the base and new flowers are present at the apex. Hence the opening of the flower is also centripetal. Okay, older flower you can always find at the base. Older flower we can say mature flower is present at the base. Whereas the newly flower, the new birds, you can call it as bird, we call them as bird. So new birds are present at the top, hence they are present, the succession is known as acropetal succession and their order of opening is known as centripetal. The next type of inflorescence is known as cymose inflorescence. Cymose inflorescence example is jasmine. If we see this cymose inflorescence, you can see here also we require two things. One is peduncle and the other one is flower. Now you can see this axis we call it as peduncle and this is the flower. Here the growth of the peduncle is finite or you can say as limited growth. Why the growth of the peduncle here is finite or limited? You can see here mature flower is present at the terminal part. As the mature flower is present at the top of the peduncle, hence the growth of the peduncle is limited. And the peduncle cannot grow more and more because the mature flower is present at the top. And you can see here apical meristem terminates into flower. As I said, at the top of the terminal part, you can find a mature flower. As mature flower is present at the top, and you will find what you will find here. The young flowers, a young bud is present at the lower end. Here it is opposite to racemose. You can see in cymose this type of in cymose inflorescence flowers are born in basipetal succession. Basipetal succession means older flower, that is the mature flower is present at the top whereas the young flower is present at the bottom. As young flower is present at the bottom and mature flower is present in the top, no new flower can be added, you can see, and growth of the peduncle is always limited. And hence their order of opening is known as centrifugal. The order of opening is known as centrifugal. Now we see distinguish between racemose and cymose inflorescence. See this answer for this inflorescence question can be asked in different manner. Question can be write the definition of inflorescence and explain the types of inflorescence. if you have to write the definition, then you will write this the same definition. And the types of inflorescence is, if it is present, then you have to write number 1 racemose inflorescence, and you have to write the 4 point with diagram. And second is cymose inflorescence, you have to write all the 4 points and diagrams. Okay, and if the question is in the distinguished form, then you have to make the 2 columns, and you have to write one racemose and the other cymose inflorescence, and you have to explain it in the same. Means what you have to do, you have to write opposite points. Every point should be, if you are writing here growth of the peduncle is infinite or unlimited, then the opposite point of this should be written for the cymose inflorescence. That is, growth of peduncle is finite or limited. Okay, means you cannot write, if you write this point first, then the flowers are born in vesicular succession, not here cannot be written as the first point. Means opposite point only you have to write, then only you will get the marks for the point. Okay, then second point is apical bud is free for continuous growth, whereas for cymose inflorescence is apical meristem terminates into flower. Third point is flowers are born in acropetal succession, and here third point is flowers are born in vesicular succession. And the fourth point is order of opening is centripetal, and for cymose it is order of opening is centrifugal. And one more, if you want to add the point, then you can write example of it, and one more extra point is you can draw the diagram of racemose and cymose. If this question is for 2 marks, then you can write any 4 points. Any 4 point means this 4, or you can write example will be your 5th point, and 6th point is your diagram. So out of this 6 point you can write any 4 point if the distinguished comes for 2 marks. But if the distinguished is for 3 marks, then you have to write all these 6 points. Means diagram should also be included if this answer is there for 3 marks. Okay. Next is flower. So what is the flower? Everybody has seen a flower. This is a typical flower. If you see a typical flower, a normal diagram, how will you define a typical flower? A typical flower is a highly modified flower, and condensed shoot meant for sexual reproduction. What is flower? Flower is a highly modified. It is a modified and condensed shoot. Shoot which is condensed, and it is meant for sexual reproduction. Flower is the main sexual part of a plant reproduction. Okay? With the help of flower, sexual reproduction takes place. Flower has the gamete, that is male gamete and female gamete. With the help of this, sexual reproduction takes place. Okay? So what is flower? Flower is a highly modified and condensed shoot meant for sexual reproduction. Now if you see the position of the flower, on the basis of position, you can call a flower to be axillary or terminal. Axillary means if they grow on the axis, we call it as axillary flower. Okay? But if the flower is present on the terminal position, we call it as a terminal. Okay? If they are present on the axis, we call it as axillary flower. On the terminal position, we call it as terminal. Then if you see a typical flower, this part is known as thalamus. This is the thalamus of the flower. So this thalamus, it consists of 4 compactly arranged nodes. thalamus, 4 compactly arranged nodes are present, and 3 highly condensed internucleus. The thalamus is typically a typical flower. Then a thalamus consists of 4 compactly arranged nodes and 3 highly condensed internucleus. And from each node of thalamus, as I said, 4 nodes are present. So from each node of thalamus, a whorl is produced. Okay? From each node of thalamus, a whorl is produced. Then, if you see a flower, then at the base of the pedicel, this is known as pedicel, and this is the pedicel. You can call it as a stalk of a flower. So at the base of pedicel, sometimes we see the bract. A bract is present at the base of the pedicel. Okay? If bract is present at the base of pedicel, that type of flower is known as bracteate flower. Okay? If bract is present at the base, or you can see over the pedicel, that flower is called as bracteate flower. And sometimes a bract is absent, means the flower does not show the bract. That type of flower is known as ebracteate flower. Okay? Two type of flower you can see. One is bracteate flower and other one is ebracteate flower because of presence or absence of bract. If bract is present, that flower is known as bracteate flower. If bract is absent, then that flower is known as ebracteate flower. Okay? Then this pedicel, as I said, the stalk. If that stalk is present, then that type of flower is known as pedicellate flower. If the stalk is present, means a flower with pedicel is called as pedicellate flower. You can see here pedicel is present. So this type of flower is known as pedicellate flower. But sometimes flowers are without pedicel. Pedicel is absent. This part is absent in a flower. So if that part is absent in a flower, that flower is known as sessile flower. Okay? We can on the presence of or absence of pedicel, we find two type of flower. If pedicel is present, that type of flower is known as pedicellate flower, and if the pedicel is absent, that type of flower is known as sessile flower. Okay? On the basis of bract, also two type of flower is present, that is bracteate and ebracteate flower. On the basis of pedicel, also flower is of two type. One is pedicellate flower and other one is sessile flower. Then flowers with bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry means we can cut the flower into two equal parts. If we cut the flower into two equal parts, that type of symmetry is known as bilateral symmetry. So for example, if I cut from the upper part up to the bottom to the lower end, we can cut the flower into two equal half. So if I cut into two parts, that type of symmetry is known as bilateral symmetry, and the flower is known as zygomorphic flower. Okay? If the flower is with bilateral symmetry, that type of flower is known as zygomorphic flower. Example is pea. But if the flower is with radial symmetry means we can cut from any part of the flower into two equal half. So if we cut a flower from any part into two equal half, that type of symmetry is known as radial symmetry, and that type of flower is known as actinomorphic flower. Example here is sunflower. Okay, so on the basis of symmetry also flower is two type. If the symmetry is bilateral symmetry, that type of flower is known as zygomorphic flower, and if the symmetry is radial symmetry, that type of flower is known as actinomorphic flower. Okay, so we have seen here three types of flowers are present. On the basis of bract, the flower is bracteate or ebracteate flower. On the basis of pedicel, the flower may be pedicellate or sessile flower, and on the basis of symmetry, the flower may be zygomorphic or actinomorphic flower. Okay, so today students we have studied inflorescence. In inflorescence we have studied two type of inflorescence, that is racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence. Then we have started with flower, and today here we have studied the types of flower, many types of flower we can find. Okay, on the basis of bracts, pedicel and the symmetry. Okay, and also we have studied the definition of a flower. Thank you.